Thursday. I tell you it is. I checked the calendar. How are you this Thursday evening? Welcome to Thursday, people. The 24th of June. It is great to be here with you. Yes, it is. What is happening in your world today? What are you grateful for? Tell me about what you are grateful for this Thursday, the 24th of June, the last Thursday in June. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Great to have you here tonight. Great to have you here. I don't want rain coming. We were just enjoying a wonderful dinner out on the patio. Cassandra made a wonderful dinner of mostly leftovers, but it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And her and Rebecca went out to Massachusetts. Where did they go? I forget the name of the restaurant. This cutesy town in Massachusetts, north of Springfield. It's a cutesy college, artsy-fartsy town. And they had gotten takeout. They had lunch there last week. And sometime over the weekend, I guess. And she had leftover onion rings. And oh my God, they were so good leftovers. I could only imagine how good they are. You know, a good onion ring, good fry. And that was really, really good. Next to our salad with steak on it and broccoli and other things she made. Rain for the next 10 days. Yuck, kitty. Hey, yuck. My new driver's not going to like that. Was it a heavy downpour or was it just a drizzle throughout the day? It's one of those. My new driver's not going to like that. I need it to be a day like today where it's not too hot, not too cold. We just had a nice night out on the patio. I mean, it was that we were so relaxed out there. And that's why Cassandra looked down at the watch and was like, oh my, you need to get on. You're way more ish than 8 tonight. Jennifer, I am grateful for you. Thank you, Jennifer. We are broadcasting tonight live on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you have any problems with Facebook, you can hop right on over to YouTube. Cassandra's got the link in the comments there. Drizzling all day. Well, drizzling's okay to train a new driver. I can handle drizzle. Downpours is bad. Especially the way it drains off of some of my buildings. It just, the way it comes off the buildings, it comes down in sheets of rain, and that's not going to get my new driver who starts Monday to be excited about the job. But we will hopefully it won't be too bad. And Andre, let's say his name is Andre. I think it's Andre. You guys know how bad I am with names. We'll do okay. And want to come back for more. So, but we had a good new person start today. We had we've had some great new hires lately. So I'm really excited about some of our new people. As we get into July, we'll talk more about hiring, because I know that's a hot topic for a lot of you. And I've got some other topics that I've got to finish, but I do want to cover some hiring things, because I think we've learned some things over the last several months in hiring, and we've changed things up a little bit. And we're having some good results with that. So that is exciting stuff. Well, let's get started tonight, because I'm so late, with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Tonight, if you are joining, if you are following along in the book, we're on page 8. And this talks right on us. This is right on us. Good morning. Lead with gratitude. The air in your lungs. The sky above you. Proceed from there. proceed from there. That's what we're doing. I got to bring you up to date. I know there's a lot that I've got to do that we're getting into customers and everything else. But there's some stuff I need to bring you up to date on in just general business news that is getting that is timely and important that I get across to you. So if I'm delayed on other stuff, it's important that I keep you up to date. I don't want this to all be just current news, but there's stuff I gotta keep you in the loop on. There's stuff I gotta keep you in the loop on. And it's been a good day for loops. Fruit Loops, probably. I like this quote from Simon, our quote from Simon tonight. The mind can be convinced, but the heart must be won. The mind can be convinced, but the heart must be won. Ooh, I got another. I'm going to come to that. Oh, hang on a second. The bill from Bill's Landscaping you don't care about. You don't care about the bill from Southern Electric that's in my pile here. But they both want to get paid. So there's been a change in corporate view on vaccines, and this is an interesting change. So work with me on it, okay? Places that are corporation, big offices and medical institutions that are starting to reopen more regularly, that are starting to are going to be requiring vaccines with a caveat, okay? So hospital systems around the country are starting to say that we are requiring all employees to be vaccinated. Businesses are saying to come into our office building, you must be vaccinated, not only as an employee, but as a visitor, okay? But they're doing that with a caveat. They're waiting for the emergency use authorization for these vaccines, because all these vaccines are currently authorized under an emergency use authorization. Yoga is over. Kelly is here. Welcome, Kelly. How was yoga? So all of these vaccines. Hey, Adele and Dazzle are here. Dazzle, it's treat time. When is it not treat time, Dazzle? Let's be real. Okay, so follow. You're bendy. I wish I was bendy. I'm sorry today. I'm sore. It has been a long day today. It's been a long day. My body is sore. Julie Chenkowitz is here. How are you, Julie? Great to have you here. So backing up for a second, all the vaccines that are currently out there are currently being used under an emergency use authorization. That is what the FDA gave them so that they could start putting shots in the arms. Jabs, as they call them overseas. We're jabbing people. Jab. Hey, Natasha, great to have you here. Great to have you here live. So many people live tonight. So, big companies with offices with lots of people in them, okay? Think New York City high-rise, Chicago high-rise office buildings. And hospital systems across the country are now saying that when the emergency use authorization moves from emergency use to approved use. Okay, so the FDA, they're looking for the FDA to move the vaccines from emergency use to authorized use. And when they move from emergency use to authorized use, these businesses, okay, because hospital systems are businesses, corporations are businesses, think the big banks. Think Merrill Lynch is one that's been specifically in the news. They are going to require that their employees are vaccinated to come into the building. Okay, they will not be allowed in the building if they are not vaccinated. That is what these systems are doing. And that will result in some attrition with these companies, people not returning to work. And under the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, that's okay. They don't have a case. I'm sure some of these big guys will get sued over it, but they are doing it. Merrill Lynch has publicly said that they will require not only employees to be vaccinated, but any customer that wants to enter the building must prove that they are vaccinated into their office building. And so you're seeing that as the vaccines are looking to move from emergency use to authorized use, okay? And that is an important distinction. So that is a distinction that they see as important from a legal perspective. Their legal teams are saying that's a really, really important distinction. And so that is what they're waiting for. Although, all the numbers continue to prove out that being vaccinated reduces everything. Okay, it drops down on everything. All the bad stuff drops with vaccinations. Okay, in your communities and in your areas, the areas where there are low vaccination rates is where there are still outbreaks and problems. So, this is going to get interesting from both a business perspective and a legal perspective. But just be aware of that. It's important to be aware of that. And keep in mind that our incentive, we gave $100 incentive to our staff to get vaccinated. Get vaccinated, provide your vaccination card, a copy of your vaccination card, and get $100 in cold hard cash. In cold hard payroll. The next payroll, you get $100. The payroll immediately following you submitting your vaccination cards. That gained us a little more than 10% uptick in our vaccination rate as a company. So it does work. Incentives do work. And you can claim those incentives under the American Rescue Plan. You can claim those incentives and get reimbursed from the government off your 941. So, if you're trying to increase your vaccination rate, it is worth doing. But again, if you are asking about vaccination status, keep it simple. Yes, no, or scheduled. Do not ask reasons why. Don't ask any more questions. From a legal perspective, from an HR perspective, that is all you want to know is yes, no, or scheduled. And if you're giving an incentive for that, you have to be consistent in how you're giving that. So, for example, we required a copy of the card. And so, even people that I know went and got it, that were begging to get in line. If I didn't have a copy of the card, they didn't get the $100 because I wanted to have a consistent file for everyone. So until they got me a copy of their status, an outside piece of paperwork that said it, they did not get the $100. And that was consistent across all of it. I even made Cassandra submit her card. Cassandra submitted her card to get her $100. She thought she could get it over the dinner table if I submit it here. Where's my $100? But in payroll, just like everybody else. So be aware of that. That is what businesses are looking at. And if that helps us as a country get back to normal, I'm for it. I'm not trying to be political on it. I'm not trying to be anything on it. I'm just trying to, get people back to normal and get us. I'm consistent. It's the accounting side of me, Kitty. I need all my paperwork to line up. I need all my paperwork to line up. So, if I get audited on this, I want to show that all my paperwork is in there. So I am consistent. I'm consistent. I don't like the word tough, but I am consistent. And part of it is Cassandra did it. She knew what she was working with. She knew what she was working with. I mean, that, but it's to that. But I'm keeping that just shows you the level that I am keeping my paperwork on this. Okay, and my audit trail. Okay, Cassandra didn't get that bonus until I had the paperwork in my file. And it's really kind of funny. Out of our whole household, okay, where Nana got hers at Walgreens, Cassandra, Rebecca, and I, and Zeke all got ours at CVS. I'm the only one that got electronic record from CVS on top of the card. And I don't know why that is or what mine was different or anything else, but I'm the only one that got an electronic record of it. My doctor got an electronic record. I don't know what was different on mine that made that happen, but I share that just because it's weird, crazy stuff. It's weird, crazy stuff. That is why I share it. Okay. While we have survived, okay, I gave you guys all credit the other night in honor of Mom's birthday, okay, that you have survived this pandemic, okay? That does not mean all the struggles are over, but you have survived this pandemic, okay? But there is studies out there that are talking about the trouble small businesses are having out there. And so I want you to know that everything isn't roses, okay? That there are still struggles, okay? I want you to know that doesn't mean there isn't still a fight for things, that you don't have to work hard for things, okay? But that you're still listening to me, you have survived. And so, according to a recent study, 53% of minority business owners had trouble paying rent in June, up 8 percentage points from May. Okay. And disproportionately higher than the 37% of small business owners overall who had problems paying rent. So 37% of business owners overall are reporting problems paying rent, okay, which can be cash flow issues. This is still a roller coaster, okay, and you anticipate, okay, I can pay these bills because we had a really great week, and then next week is down in the dumps, and you have to wait till the week after till it's back up. Cash flow issues, I get it, okay, I really do. Okay, so 37% of small businesses overall are reporting problems paying rent. That doesn't mean that they're never paying rent. That means that it can be a roller coaster, okay? And 57% of minority-owned businesses. And then you get into the demographic of women-owned businesses and areas that are disproportionately hit. And so I share that information with you, okay? I share that information with you because this pandemic has hit everyone, but has not hit everyone equally. There are disproportionate effects on different people. And even though you have survived this, that doesn't mean you still don't have struggles. And so that statistic, knowing that you are not alone, yes, I'm pointing to you. I see you. I see you right there. You're not alone. That's what's important to know, that you are not alone. as you face these struggles. Okay, things have not normalized. Even though I've talked about Father's Day being a more normal business weekend for us, even though at first glance the numbers were scary for us. Per se, on the surface level, you're like, oh, that was a big dip, but it was normal with a little increase for a Father's Day weekend. Historically, on trend, it was on trend with a Father's Day weekend. So these stats are important to know, okay? And it's most important to know that as you are sitting there in your own situation and your own bills and your own things that you're looking at and your own decisions of what you're deciding to pay or not pay, that you are not alone, okay? 37% of all small businesses said they had some issue paying June rent. You're not alone. That is the important message there. You are not alone. That's more than 1 in 3 people. That is more than 1 in 3. Okay? So just know that. Okay? That doesn't make it easier, but it takes some of the burden off of you. You are not like everybody is fine and I am not. Everybody's fine and I am not. No, it's hard. Everybody's going through some hard stuff. That's okay, but you've survived and you will survive. You will survive this. I was on today. I mentioned yesterday I had today the chairman of Ways and Means, Congressman Richard Neal of Springfield. He spells Neal differently, and his Neal is at the end versus Neal up front. Neal up front's like Madonna, Cher, Neal. Okay. T-ball's back in Albuquerque in Kelly's neighborhood. That is great. These are great things. These are little tiny things, but they're great things, Kelly. I'm very happy to hear that. So I was on with Congressman Neal and his staff today, and kind of gave them an earful. I gave them an earful today, which is good. And, Congressman Neal is incredibly articulate and smart with tax policy. He understands taxes and tax policy really, really well. What he misses, like most people do in most government policy, these are big bills, is the unintended consequences of those things. You're trying to wrap up the Amazons and you wrap up the Kellys and the Kittys and the Jennifers in the same package. And you're not the same. Okay? You're corporations, but you're corporations of a different kind. You're businesses, but you're businesses of a different kind. And it was an earful that quite honestly, that you could tell by their face. I'll have to see if I can get a recording of it to share with you, because I think it was virtual. I think they got a recording of it. NFIB set me up with that meeting. So, you got to keep. I get these meetings, and typically I'm either set up with these meetings by the National Retail Federation or the National Federation of Independent Businesses. Those two organizations are phenomenal at getting me in the door. Because this smiling face would not get in the door himself. I know that's hard to believe for some of you, but that would not get me in the door. That would get a lot of slam doors in my face. But NFIB and the National Retail Federation are great at getting me in the door. And I did the video call from my warehouse where things were actively happening in between. And one of the things that I talked about, because sometimes they think I mean, and you take some of the rhetoric that gets tossed around is that businesses are all in it for themselves. It's nothing about the workers and everything else. And, I really let them have it. And many of you have heard my talk on you have to be a crazy person to start in business. Okay. You have to be a crazy person to take your family's savings, max out your credit cards, borrow against the house. Whatever you did to open your business, you got to be freaking nuts. And then when you're making money, instead of taking it and going and buying a corporate jet or going and buying an island, okay, you invest it back in the business, or you give it to the T-ball team, or you give it to the family that just had a fire, the multi-family home that just burned down, or any of a million other causes in your area. Okay, you are the first to show up for that. You are the first. Okay, and you are the first to invest in your people. And you want to be, you want government to be supportive, but not in your way. And so that is the tack that I took with Congressman Neal. And I do appreciate Congressman Neal, because when you break it down for him, he actually gets it. Okay, he's been in Congress a long time. I look forward to actually being in person with him, because he used to have a sweet office, and I'm guessing now that he's chairman, he has an even sweeter office, with a great view of the Capitol. I mean, he had a pretty good view before, but I'm guessing his view is even better now. But it is important to share these stories and to share why we're there and what we do in our communities, because that's what matters. Okay. You're not buying an island. You're not buying a vacation. You're not buying a lifestyle. Okay. You are supporting your communities in so many ways. You are job creators. You are business inventors. I look back to, when our business was really, really small. I mean, when Cassandra and Rebecca was a baby sitting on the counter. Okay. When we did that, when we had nothing. Okay. When we were building something from nothing. Nothing existed before we did that. Okay. That is what they need to hear. And sharing those stories and the unintended consequences of some of the laws they consider, and where we get wrapped up like we're in Amazon or Walmart or such, is a bunch of BS. It's a law, it's unintended consequences, and they need to understand that. So it was a great conversation, way more than the congressman and his staff planned on. I know they got my name right on that one. And it was good to engage with them today. So I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do that. You gotta another thing you need to understand is states right now have, most states, not all states, okay, but many states have more freaking money than they know what to do with right now. For example, in the state of Massachusetts, has how many billion extra? Hang on a second. Revenues to date in the state of Massachusetts in their fiscal year for sales tax are 15% above the benchmark. They actually added to their rainy day fund. Okay, added to their rainy day fund. And this is all without the COVID money, the money that they've gotten from the federal government. This is all without money that they're blowing from the federal government. They've got so much money coming in, they've suggested having, instead of a tax-free weekend, the governor has suggested having August and September be tax-free, okay, which amounts to just under $1 billion, about $900 million. This is the kind of extra money states across the country are having right now, okay, as they work through their financial things. And having a seat at the table, being part of these conversations. Again, I just want to be a part of these conversations. These conversations are happening. I want our voice to be in these conversations. They got an extra $900 billion that they're like, yeah, here are 900 billion, there are 900, 900 million, excuse me, 900 million. Yeah, I'd love 2 months of tax-free too, and they're doing it to well, they haven't done it yet, okay? They're talking about doing it. They approved the tax-free weekend, and the governor put forth a proposal to do 2 tax-free months, okay? So an extra almost $1 billion have, I mean, $1 billion that they're saying they wouldn't miss. Not only are they saying that they have this money, but they're saying, yeah, here $1 billion, there $1 billion. It's my ash, and this is, and it's hard. You got to, when you have a seat at these tables, Cassandra and I were talking about it, and I'm like, I'm perplexed because you have to handle this as a siloed topic, okay? Because I would argue that some of this money should go towards what they're trying to sock us with for unemployment insurance in the state, okay? And states are trying to do that and reducing that cost. But, if that stimulates the economy, that would be a good thing. If that stimulated people shopping in Massachusetts, that would be a good thing. If that stimulated shopping in brick and mortar stores, that would be a good thing. And so, to lose almost $1 billion in revenue, okay, for the state, that's only 6% of the sales. So, I mean, you're talking nearly $1 trillion in sales, okay, on that, 750 billion or something like that. That would be pretty freaking amazing. We'll see where that goes, but this is happening again around the country as states are feeling really flush right now, and they're trying to find new ways to spend money. I'm with paying down debt. I'm with eliminating the effects of unemployment insurance on people. Another lane where 495 meets 290 would be great, Kathy. That would be wonderful. I agree with you. That would be a wonderful thing. If they could just get rid of some of the potholes, it would be great. I don't know what will really come of this. I mean, but what I'm telling you is keep an eye on your state budgets because the states have more money than they know what to do with. They are like drunken sailors right now. Drunken sailors. Oh, the next round's on me. Oh, the next round's on me. I mean, so keep an eye on where your state is spending money right now. Okay? It's important to be part of the conversation, even though you may feel at times that you are not part of the conversation, that your opinion doesn't matter. They hear from so few people. They hear from so few people that the people they actually hear from matter. Okay? I tell you this from experience. That is why I do this. This is why I advocate, because I know that one voice can make a difference. One voice can make a difference. Well, I understand the issue Illinois is. Illinois has got a lot of long-standing issues. So does Massachusetts. Okay, I mean, we have the most expensive tunnel in the world. I mean, we have lots of things that we're paying for. They like to kick the can down the road. That's what government does. But it's a great time for government to deal with things so that our children's children aren't dealing with them. So that is why I make you aware of that. The SBA, for those of you, is finally getting some of this money out for people that have asked for EIDL increases. They have been processing them, and they expect to get a lot of them out by the first half of July from our friends at the SBA. I've been in contact with them a lot the last couple weeks. They are making a lot of progress on that. If you ask for a reconsideration of your EIDL loan or your EIDL limit, again, I am not encouraging debt. I'm not encouraging you taking more money than you need. You can't buy a boat with it. You cannot buy a boat with it. But if you have done that, if you've submitted that, they are working through and getting them done. They actually hope to, for the bigger companies that listen to us, get it up to the statutory from. They've raised the limit from the 150,000 to 500,000. They're hoping by the end of summer to have that lifted to the 2 million. And I have a couple people that I know that tune in and that I work with that could use that. I know that sounds ridiculous to many, to my average, to my regular audience, but there are some bigger companies that do tune in, and that 2 million could actually be put to good use. So, but that's on a situational basis. Do not take more than you need. Do not, I don't want you in debt. I want you to live within your means, and I want you to live on the business. Don't take this money to bet on some, to go to the casino and put it all on black. You can't do that either. You can't buy a boat. You can't buy a land boat. You can't do the other things. There's actually been some situations lately, and it's actually kind of interesting. I don't know that any of our it's happened to any, I'm not aware of it happening to any of our regular viewers, either live or on that catch the replay. But there have been some instances where the SBA has actually gone back and taken EIDL money back. Like you've transferred it into a personal account, and the SBA goes and zaps the account and takes it back. Is one of the things that the SBA has done in situations across the country, because that is not an allowed use. So just be smart. Just know that it is a loan, but that they are processing it. I know there are people that need that increase, and I'm fine with it, because again, I want you to survive. I want you to survive and thrive. So if you needed it, those are getting processed. They expect to have most of them that are already in processed by the middle of July, based on what I am currently getting from our friends at the SBA. And so, that's just important to keep you up to date on. So I didn't want to bore you with a lot of stuff, but I needed to keep you up to date on all this stuff. Julie, I'm not known as the fun guy. The fact guy, sure. Fun, nobody ever says, woohoo, for a good time, call Neil. Nobody says that, Julie. Nobody says that. You've been with me too long. You know I make people cry. I've made you cry. I make people laugh, but I laugh about the reality of things. But nobody says, for a good time, call Neil. Nobody. My peanut gallery will tell you. I'm not the good time guy, but I am the factual guy. Well, I have fun with you too, Julie. I enjoy being with you. And, everybody is awesome. So I'm just saying. So I'm sorry to divert tonight, but I did want to keep you all up to date on those happenings, because there's a lot happening out there. We will get back to the customer experience and digging into all of that, because that's really important. There's no crying in consignment. Well, sometimes I make people cry, Kathy, but it's tears of joy because nobody's ever told them stuff before. I always say, especially when I do on a one-on-one, you better have the Tylenol bottle, the Advil bottle, and a box of Kleenex. whenever I'm coming to your store, if we're working one-on-one, you better have all those ready. Because you're going to go through all of them at some point with me. But that's okay. It's all in the spirit of making everything better, because that is my goal. That is my goal with everything, is to improve things, and never stop improving. Never stop improving. Don't forget how far you have come, people. You have come. You are not the same person I was here with last June. You are not the same people. You are better. You are stronger. You're like the $6 million man or woman, right? Because there was Lindsay Wagner was a $6 million woman, or what did they call her? The Bionic Woman. They didn't call her. He was the $6 million man. She's the Bionic Woman. She got short shifted there. I mean, he's worth $6 million. She's just bionic. I don't know. I digress. But you are not the same people. You are not the same people I was with a year ago. And I am glad to still be on this journey with you. I am glad to be with you. We will continue this educational journey tomorrow night. Today was normally the first evening of conference. You're right, Kitty. Okay, today normally was, on a normal year, this would be the first night of conference. On this night, what is this night different than all other nights? This night would be the first night of conference. We would be having our social hour. We'd be wrapping up our social hour. The hotel would be trying to shoo us out of the ballroom that we're in and into the bar right now, is what the hotel would be trying to do if we were in person. So, while we are not in person, but we will be in the future. We will be in the future. I promise you that. And when we are, I'm going to be there with you. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I hope all of you, because I am the same in person. Now, anybody that knows me, anybody that personally knows me, okay, Julie, Kitty, Jennifer, anybody that personally knows me will tell you I am the same person in person as I am here. I know some of you are afraid to approach me sometimes in person and everything else, but I am just Neil. I am the exact same person I am in person as I am here. Sorry for that. For those of you that was hoping for something different, I am the exact same person in person. Ladies and gentlemen, this video and everything I talk about, goes over to narts.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you, all the files, all the reference points, everything, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and yes, ring the bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. We're going to share it with everybody. We're going to help everybody make it to the other side. Yes, we are. We're going to make them better than they were before. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here every night at more 8 than ish, live in the Narts private Facebook group and streaming on YouTube. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com, N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com. Excuse me. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Tonight, we're on page 8. Good morning. Lead with gratitude. The air in your lungs, the sky above you. Proceed from there. Our good night tonight is good night. Curl up with gratitude. For the ground beneath you, for your beating heart. Proceed from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a getting to know you reception. We will party in person. We will party again. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8th than Ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. It's time for dessert, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.